Hi everyone and welcome. I am Gloria Morris and this is my final presentation for EDID6503, Instructional Design Theories, Models and Strategies. Over the course of this semester, my understanding of instructional design, instructional technology, and distance learning has grown significantly. What started as a collection of disconnected terms has become an integrated system of thinking. In this presentation, I will walk you through that journey of transformation using two concept maps to show you how my thinking evolved from the start of this course to now. In this presentation, I will take you through the journey of how my understanding of key instructional design concepts evolved over the semester. We will begin by looking at two concept maps, one from the start of the course and one from the end. Side by side, they show how my thinking shifted. I will also share the learning moments and assignments that influenced this transformation and reflect on how I now approach instructional design in a more intentional and integrated way. By the end, I hope it is clear how much growth has taken place and how I now think like a designer, not just a student. This is my initial concept map from assignment 1. As you can see, I had a basic understanding of the three core areas: instructional design, instructional technology, and distance learning. But at this stage, I treated them more as isolated categories rather than connected components of a larger system. There was minimal integration between the concepts. They were more like separate silos. I mostly relied on surface level terms, and my focus was on listing ideas rather than showing relationships or depth. This map reflects how I was still in the early stages of grasping theory, tools, and delivery methods all work together in the design. This is my final concept map from assignment 4. Right away, you can probably notice how much more structured and integrated it is compared to my first one. There's a stronger connection between theory, practice, and tools, and the relationships between instructional design, instructional technology, and distance learning are much more clearly mapped out. I also included a timeline at the bottom to show how my understanding evolved throughout the semester. Each section of the map is tied to a learning moment, whether it was an assignment, peer feedback, or theory deep dive. Now, this final version reflects how my thinking matured. I moved from simply naming components to showing how they actually work together in real-world instructional design. There's been a significant shift in how I think about instructional design. At the beginning of the course, I mostly focused on learning terms and concepts in isolation. But now, I understand they interact and support each other in a real instructional context. I've learned to connect learning theories with models like EDID and Dick and Carey, and to integrate tools like TPAC and SAMR in ways that make pedagogical sense, not just technological sense. I also realized that distance learning is not just a delivery method. It is a whole philosophy that impacts how we design for learner engagement and flexibility. Most importantly, I started thinking more like a designer, asking not just what do I want to teach, but how can I design the best experience for the learner. That mindset shift has been my biggest change in my journey this semester. For assignment 2, I focus on two instructional models: Universal Design for Learning, UDL, and the Concrete Representational Abstract, CRA approach. Exploring these models helped me understand how to design more inclusive and structured learning experiences. UDL made me more aware of planning for learner variability, designing lessons that work for all students from the start. CRA taught me how to scaffold learning from concrete tools to visual representations and finally to abstract thinking. This experience helped me move beyond just naming models to understanding how they work together to support diverse learners. That insight played a big role in shaping my final concept map and in how I now think about instructional design. Assignment 3 helped me connect the dots between different instructional models and tools. I had to think about how they work together in real-world instructional settings, which really challenged me to move beyond surface-level understanding. And that is where I really started to see the overlap between instructional design, instructional technology, and distance learning. Instead of treating each model separately, I began to analyze how they complement one another when planning for effective instruction. For example, I looked closely at models like EDID, SAMAR, and TPAT and asked, where does theory meet technology? Where does delivery mode come in? That helped me break out of a checklist mindset and start designing with intentionality. You can also see how I visually mapped these ideas using EDID and a constructivist instructional model. These diagrams helped me visualize how analysis, design, development, and implementation align with tools, pedagogical goals, and the need of diverse learners. This synthesis of theory and practice became a key part of my final concept map, and more importantly, part of how I now approach instructional design as a process of integration. The learning cafes were honestly one of the most valuable parts of this course. They gave me a chance to step outside of my own interpretation of the frameworks and hear how others were making sense of the same material, often in completely different ways. Through peer discussions, I realized that I was holding on to certain assumptions, especially about how theories should be applied. These conversations helped me refine my thinking and deepen my understanding. One key takeaway was learning that there is not just one correct way to interpret a model, and that seeing through others' lenses helped me become more flexible and thoughtful in how I design instruction. This kind of collaborative reflection pushed me to go beyond just reading the material and to start truly engaging with it. Feedback from both my lecturer and peers played a big role in shaping my final concept map. It helped me identify areas I had oversimplified or where my connections between concepts weren't quite clear. One of the main suggestions I received was to add specific examples and clarify how the ideas related to each other, especially when it came to linking theory and practice. That is what led me to build in more detailed connections between models like EDID, TPAT, and UDL, rather than just naming them. I was also encouraged to show the evolution of my thinking more clearly, which is why I added the timeline element to my final map. It helped illustrate how my understanding developed over the course. This feedback really pushed me beyond surface level labeling and helped me create something more structured, intentional, and reflective of my actual learning journey. This course really shifted how I see instructional design. Before, I focused a lot on content, what to teach, and how to organize it. But now, I think more deeply about the learning experience, how models, tools, and the delivery modes can work together to support the different learners. I've learned that instructional design is not a linear checklist. It is a thoughtful process that blends theory, practice, and empathy for the learner. I now see instructional design, instructional technology, and distance learning not as separate silos, but as interconnected parts of one system. More than anything, I've grown to be a more reflective and intentional designer, someone who can justify their choices, adapt to different contexts, and design learning that is both effective and inclusive. Thank you for viewing my presentation. This course, EDID6503, Instructional Design Theories, Models and Strategies, has significantly deepened my understanding of what it means to be an instructional designer. I have gained tools, frameworks, and confidence to design with purpose, not just to deliver content, but to truly create meaningful learning experiences. I'm excited to carry this knowledge into my practice and continue growing in this field. As the quote says, design is not just what it looks like and feels like. Design is how it works. And now I feel equipped to make that happen.